Hello, hello, hello. Cheers, Kevin here, and welcome to this channel, this video, where I'm going to talk to you for a little bit, which I do on Thursday morning, so strap in. It's going to be fun. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yeah, hi. I hope you're having a great week. I'm doing pretty well this week. Want to talk about a couple of things. Want to talk about generally my health and diet, because I do that from time to time, and I think it's been it's been kind of negative news lately, and so I want to talk about that now because things are a little bit more positive. Want to talk a little bit about sort of the stuff that I hinted at sort of last week, trying to work on making better videos, making better stuff, trying to kind of explore ideas. Want to talk a little bit about yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I wrote down some stuffs. Let's talk about the weight first. So, as for those of you who don't know, I was very large back in the end of August. I was about 370 pounds, which was not, well, I guess that would have been, no, that was the end of July. I take it back. Very large back this summer. I've been working on not being so large. I got down to about 280, and now I bounced back up to above 300 around Thanksgiving and sort of the week or two leading up to Thanksgiving. I have to report that now I'm back to below where I was. So I clocked in this morning. Sorry, my throat is being really weird. I clocked in this morning around 283 pounds, and I'm continuing to drop. The goal is to ideally get to 180 pounds. We're going to see how achievable that is. Very excited, though, that possibly within a few days I could be within like only 100 pounds overweight. That'd be awesome. Be very exciting to get to that point. And then 10 pounds after that, I'll have lost 100 pounds from my peak weight, which would be also pretty exciting. Those would be some very exciting numbers. And so I'm now kind of within spitting distance, not literally, unfortunately, but I'm within spitting distance of both of those targets. And then I guess after that, we got to wait for, 250? That's a milestone, right? We'll call that a milestone. That's the problem, is you need milestones. It's good to have milestones. At the moment, I'm on a potato fast, which is kind of me sinking back into a healthy diet kind of after Thanksgiving, and just like, all right, nope, we're just going with potatoes and reset the palate, get weaned off of the whole, like, I need sugar and caffeine and salt things. And I think that's going well. Not eating a ton, because, man, you get sick of potatoes really quickly. But hey, they're filling, and that's good. I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm drinking a lot of tea, and that's always fantastic. Let's see what I don't know. I feel like I feel like I should have more to say about that, but no, that's pretty much it. It's been interesting. I feel like, I don't know. It's weird. I'm continually surprised by, I know that I've lost weight from where I had been. If you go and watch older videos, you may notice a difference. And I say may because I sometimes don't. I rather frequently don't. And it kind of bothers me. Like I will realize I have an enormous amount of kind of loose skin and stuff under my arms and stuff now. My wristwatch is now on the 4th slot instead of the 1st slot. My pants are very loose, and I need to buy new belts and stuff. And yet I look at my face and I go like, nope, I don't see it. It's strange because you think of body dysmorphia. I mean, seeing yourself as weird, as just being, I don't know. You would think of body dysmorphia as like, oh, well, I would consider myself to be always larger than I am or smaller than I am. But no, it's more that I don't notice the change, which is weird, even when I do kind of comparisons with older photos and stuff. But regardless, I'm feeling healthier. I'm sleeping more. I'm getting my meditations and stuff in. I'm doing my journaling, and that kind of leads me into the next stuff that I want to talk about, which is kind of stuff that I sort of talked a little bit about in the last video, which because of some YouTube stuff, I don't know, could be that a lot of people didn't see it because they didn't want to see it, which is entirely fine. Could be that there were some issues with YouTube. There's a lot of stuff going around that maybe there were some issues with YouTube around that time. A big unsubscribe bug, a big people not showing up in people's feeds bug. But anyway, that video has about 1/5 of the views that my videos normally have, which is, again, a pretty small number. But anyway, in case you missed it, so to recap on that, I want to really focus on possibly doing new stuff with this channel, looking at long-form educationally type of content, looking at possibly going back to a more heavily edited kind of jump cutty comedic type of thing. these are the questions that I'm wrestling with, and I have ideas. And I was thinking about this morning. I was thinking about ideas because I've been really enjoying kind of exploring a lot of ideas, particularly with streaming on Twitch. I've been doing live coding, programming stuff on Twitch, which has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to hang out with people, and it's also been particularly fun to go like, "Hey, I have an idea. I would like a thing. I would like a thing to exist. Let's go ahead and just try and build that thing. Let's try and set some time aside and kind of make a commitment to go ahead and say like, all right, we're gonna make cool stuff, and then hey." Then cool stuff starts to exist and I can use it. And that's really awesome. But I was thinking about ideas and I realized one of the things that I struggle with a lot, one of the faults that I'm very aware of in myself, I'm aware of a lot of problems that I have, but one of them, particularly with ideas, is that I have a very difficult time going from an abstract idea for a thing to any sort of actionable details at all. Generally, with a programming problem, I can understand abstract and I'd be like, okay, well, I need to first do this and I need to blah, 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 and I can break it down into its component parts. And that's not so much a problem. But with general life things or general projects, I have a really, really hard time going, okay, let's say I have a story idea. If you have an idea for a story, generally it comes from the, hey, wouldn't it be cool if type of question, right? You say, oh man, it'd be awesome if blah, blah, blah happened, or blah, 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 blah was a thing, or, dinosaurs were real, or magic was powered by steam. That'd be cool. Whatever the idea may be, you go like, okay, that's a cool idea, right? I agree. I'm on board. Let's go ahead and try and make a thing. Okay, well, you need to flesh out your universe. You need to come up with some sort of characters. You need to come up with some sort of story. How do you do that? How does that stuff fall out of this? You have this wonderful cloud of an idea. How do you cause anything to fall out of it? How do you reach up and start pulling any of that down? And I struggle with that. More than that, I struggle with even knowing how to go about that. And when it comes to projects, I have an idea like, oh, there should be a podcast like blah, 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 blah. Or I should try and do things to make the YouTube channel more accessible to blah, blah, and trying to make actionable step. I can't even, it's not even like, okay, well, if I just sat, if I just made the time to show up for 5 minutes every day, things would start to get better. I don't even know where to direct my efforts. Which is really rough. It's really tricky. It's really hard to know. I feel like there's some secret brainstorm. What I need is the step after brainstorming. That is the missing piece for me. Regardless of what it is, whether it's a story idea, whether it's a project, whether it's anything. Just if you want to do a thing, you want to develop a skill, you want to do whatever. What is the thing that you do after the brainstorming meeting where you have all these crazy cool ideas and you go, all right, I'm going to circle these ones. How do you go from there to, all right, well, let's make some small amount of progress on that. Let's make some steps in that direction. I don't know. And that's something that I really struggle with. I do think one of the things that I really want to focus on and perhaps do, I feel like if I do end up doing sort of educational long form, edutainment-y type of stuff, it probably makes sense to put it on another channel just because this channel is already very much this. But one of the things that I do want to do possibly is look at the idea of bootstrapping everything. One of the things I've been really kind of excited about, and just as kind of a general obsession with me, is bootstrapping. Bootstrapping is the idea, it's in particular, it's common in computer science. The idea of bootstrapping is a program that can kind of boot itself up, that can maybe compile itself, that can maybe make its own self work. That it doesn't require external things. Obviously, if you're bootstrapping your own life, it's, well, you're not getting other people. If you're bootstrapping your own company, you're not taking outside funding. You're going ahead and you're doing a thing, you're getting paid for that thing, and then you're using that money to do more things, right? You're perpetual motion, you're self-sustaining type of thing. It was funny, I actually read just recently, and this just tickles me to death, that pulling oneself up by one's bootstraps is actually an expression that is considered to be mocking someone for arrogance. There was apparently a story from the 18-somethings in which it is a character is said to have pulled himself out of a swamp by grabbing onto his hair, which I think to me, the image, it's quicksand. Like, oh, I got in quicksand, but it's okay. I pulled myself out. That the joke about bootstraps is, well, that's not what you, yeah, no. The idea is that it's the absurdly ridiculous notion that you can pull yourself out of your own problems, which it tickles me to death. I think in particular, I want to focus on that. I've been trying to build, in particular with the coding stuff that I've been doing on Twitch. We've been building the Twitch overlay that we've been using in the streams as part of the streams. I want to do kind of similar stuff with YouTube-y things. I want to do similar stuff with writing. I want to try and expose as much of the making and exploring process to the process itself and let it sort of feed on itself and see what happens with that. I don't know. My head is rambling, but I'm feeling a lot more creative. I gotta say, if you eat less and eat healthier, because man, it just gives you way more energy and it puts you in a much better mood. It's nice. As much as I'm looking forward to not eating potatoes so much, I'm looking forward to going back to more veggies or at least more diverse veggies, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But that's kind of it for me. I don't want to go too long because I have a history of doing that, and I'm trying to not do that too much for you at this point. But I hope that you're doing well. Let me know if you have any suggestions of, or really, whatever your creative process is, whatever things that you do. How do you go from an abstract concept of a thing? What happens after the brainstorming meeting? How do you go from that to saying, all right, even if I don't know how this thing is going to shape out, how do I even discover more about it? How do I even get closer to the point where I can start working on it? Because man, I got work ethic. I want to work on things, but they're too far away. They're just hanging up in the sky. And I'm like, that's really cool. That cloud looks like a cheetah, but I can't reach it. So, any suggestions? I'd love to hear what you have to say down in the comments. Otherwise, I hope that you have a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.